This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
This is The Cringe is Real, a reality TV recap podcast that probes the notion of the Australian culture cringe. I'm Sam Crimean, and tonight we're doing things a little bit differently. No, we're not. It's the same. Don't worry. We've hit the halfway mark of Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels, and joining me to discuss it this week is meme queen and podcaster Dan Morrison. Dan is responsible for the hilarious content from Gasbagging and one of my favourite people to talk shit about reality TV with. Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels airs on 10 and 10 Play every Sunday to Tuesday, and I'll be recapping it each week with a special guest. It's Hurricane Dan Morrison. Welcome back to The Cringe is Real.
Hello. We are recording. So sorry. I was caught off guard.
We are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you.
What's got you cringing this week, babe?
Actually, I feel like this has got a lot of other people cringing, but I secretly loved, which was Madame Web.
Madame.
A truly iconic film. I said Madame Web when I was entering the screening for it, because I was like, oh, we're here for the screening of Madame Web, and then I heard myself and I went,
to who?
Yeah,
the usher?
Madam. Yes.
Yeah.
I was at a screening thing for work, and I was just like, I didn't know where it was. It was actually very
Web.
Yeah, and I was anyway. But great, terrible.
I enjoyed it too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I definitely was giggling a lot, and I was with a friend who I wasn't sure how he was feeling about it, so I would just check every now and then. I'd just look over. But he doesn't give much away with the expression, so I was like, are we into this or are we not? But yeah, I enjoyed it.
And in a dark theatre, it's hard to tell how a friend's feeling. The friend I went with is I think I said this too, but basically Regina Hall from Scary Movie, reacting to everything. So anything that was a bit cringe or ridiculous, he was screaming next to me, and I was
there were several moments. What were the moments that were getting the reactions?
To be honest, just a lot of Dakota Johnson delivery was just caught us off guard. Actually, I think my biggest reaction was seeing Emma Roberts as future Spider-Man's mother showing up, and I was like, there she is. That was very exciting.
Ryan Murphy a part of this? I couldn't believe Sydney Sweeney can play a 30-year-old or a 13-year-old. It's go off.
It's wild that she had nothing to do in that film, and she was one of the main cast. Those three girls
literally
literally got nothing to do.
All
but
she needs
how
to
they're
do
the superheroes.
Stare into the camera with those little doe eyes, and it's that's how she makes that money.
And Dakota Johnson made a lot of money from just, I would say, not phoning it in, but there was a disinterest, I think, in
she didn't do a whole lot. Yeah.
It being on
she
set.
ran around in a leather jacket for a bit.
And that villain was one of the worst villains I've ever seen in a Marvel.
Yeah,
not that I'm a huge Marvel gal. Oh, stunning!
Yeah.
But he
was hot, but then I don't know.
I want to see 8 more films. I want to see full universe.
Don't you worry, they're coming. I'm sure. Even though everyone hates this one, I think they'll still do it.
I know. Well, to be honest, those Venom films keep coming, and that was I feel like they had a similar reception at the time.
There's more than one of those?
There's at least 2, so I feel like there's hope
Tom
for
Hardy, though,
Madame Web.
So,
Oh, I'd watch Tom Hardy in anything, to be honest. So
exactly.
that's on me. So,
and also we need to talk about the Traitors. You're watching the Traitors US season 2.
Traitors US.
Are you enjoying?
They need to win a second Emmy for casting again. If they won an Emmy for season 1 of casting, they've hit it out of the park with season 2. Honestly, Phaedra and Parvati
in the same room.
Oh, it's a shame that Parvati's gone, but I enjoyed every moment with her. I love watching Phaedra. So smart bringing Kate back, and Kate's going to be
my favorite line of the season is from Kate when she goes, Not my burgerlicious was problematic for you.
Great.
That
What a
was
line.
great line.
No one could write that.
Not my
But
burgerlicious.
I think it's been a great season. And I love that this show makes me root for the villain, which is just like I can't stand anyone in that cast who's not a traitor. Like actually I didn't like Dan, but I liked Parvati and Phaedra. I'm like, I want you to win. I love Kate, hate Peter, hate Trishelle, like just any of the ones that are against them, or like getting onto them, like get away from Phaedra. So stunning show.
I know. I was pretty gutted to see Parv leave, but also she like had a great run, and I think she would have run out of headbands pretty soon anyway. So she needed to get out of there.
I know. I mean, I'm on my Survivor US watch from the beginning.
Yes. How is that going?
To Parvati season. I'm on the season 2 finale currently.
Oh,
so
shit.
I'm like about to see who wins. So I'm quite sheltered where I don't actually know who wins any of these things. Like I remember things because like the second season's the Australian Outback season. So I remember
it's Australian Outback.
Like,
how is that hold out? Because that would have been like 2002 or something. Yeah.
Oh, Sam, it's horrific. Like it's like proper starvation. It looks so drab. They're like not doing well. There's a point where like towards the end of the season, Jeff comes to them and goes, "You guys don't have enough rice to like last you till the end of the show. Like you've got 13 more days."
That's right.
He goes, if I give you this rice, I'm going to take your shelter. And they were like, okay. And they just like give him everything. I'm like, this is actually really bad. And everyone's just lost so much weight. I'm like, this is torture. But kind of, I'm like, let's bring a little bit of this back to like, current Survivor.
All I remember was that they called the merged tribe Barramundi, which just sounds like a pub special. Like,
a delicious pub special.
I'll have the Barramundi, please. And with Australian Survivor, is this your first season watching, or have you been with us for a little while?
Oh no, I've been big Survivor Australia gal.
Australia from the start. Okay.
Yes, yeah. I feel like I remember. Well, we're here to talk about it, so.
Exactly. But some people, say that it's the premium product at the moment. So I don't know.
It is. I listen to so many US podcasts where they're like, Australian Survivor is where it's at. So we're in the right place.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, let's get into this week. It was this was like twist week. Let's just get it out of the way. Crazy twist week. Sometimes they drive me nuts, but do you know what? When they work in favor of my faves, I'm all good. So I wasn't too mad about some of these twists. But we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to it, but I'll say I was mad at the time, but I'm happy with where we've ended at the end, of the week.
Upon further reflection.
Yes, I was maybe screaming at the TV anytime I hear like JLP say, "Oh, we're going to do something a little bit different this time," like, shut your beautiful mouth, you annoying man. Like, let's just do it straightforward. But look, I think we've ended up in the right place. But let's get it.
We did. You just have to kind of go along for the ride with Australian Survivor. If you're like a game purist or whatever, which like those people just drive me nuts anyway, because I'm like, it's a television show. But if you're into it for all of those reasons, you're not going to like our Aussie version because they love a bit of production fuckery, and I'm not mad about it. Yeah,
save the faves.
So episode 10, yeah, exactly. Save the faves. Ep 10 was called Bad Hair Day, referring to Eileen's hair up, hair down code that we discover later on in the ep. But we open with Kirby at the New Titans beach, and she's like reflecting upon last night's tribal, and she's like, "Oh, the Garrick vote wasn't a blindside. I thought they saw that coming." I'm like, "Oh, okay," which I think says a lot about how she's playing. She's kind of just like, "Oh, I thought you guys were all on board that I'm just, running this shit." How do you find Kirby?
I love Kirby. I think she's playing like a phenomenal game. But the problem is, I think I have a fear she will be ousted quite soon. Like, I know by the end of this week, she's not gone yet, but I feel like not long after merge, everyone's going to go, she's like a power player. I think everyone's like tuning on to that. You know, Ferris has got there quicker than others, but I have fears for her moving forward. But I love her as a character, and she's one of the smartest like game players I've seen in a while. Like keeping Kelli on is just genius. Like she feels like an actual producer to me, because I'm like, oh, you've kept this woman on for entertainment.
Totally.
Thank you to you and the whole team.
She's really good at compartmentalizing the emotional side with the game side, and like winners have that ability. You know, it's like you got it. Like this is why I would suck at this game, because I would literally just have voted out Kelli day one because she would have driven me nuts, and like. I would just be there to hang out with like the hotties. I would have been like the culture.
Talking about hotties, sorry. At the top of this episode, all I had was like Alex in the water. I was just like, he is one of the dumbest people that has ever been on the show. But like, thank God for his presence.
Yeah.
Like, what a beautiful specimen.
I'm enjoying just those speedos. Speaking of specimens,
well, so
Ferris
was Kelli.
We'll get to that. Ferris asks for a vote breakdown, and Eileen's like, I voted for Kelli. It was Plan C, just in case there were two idols being played. Aileen is playing so well. She's really good at pivoting. She's always got the backup plan ready. I'm enjoying Aileen a lot, and this week she's
a smart girl.
Mm.
Well, I've also heard from your previous episode. Apparently, are you a I was going to say BFT.
Your favorite? Yeah, she's a BFT girl. Yeah, which I think, like this week, I'm just like, wow. Clearly, I'm on the right training regime if I can hold on to a rope for 2 hours or however long.
Yeah, exactly. You'll have to compete with her next time.
I will.
Class.
Yeah, we'll have to do like a I'll just pin her down. Ferris
Please
says,
film it.
I've got an idol, but Kelli doesn't believe him. She's like, well, then why didn't you play it for your friend? And Ferris is like, well, yeah, maybe I should have, you know. He's a bit concerned now. He's in the minority. So he's going to lay low for a little bit. But he's got revenge on the mind, which this is my favorite Survivor storyline, when they're just like gunning for someone purely out of revenge. I'm like, yes, I always root for those people.
Love.
Over at New Rebels, Alex doesn't have a plan, but him and Eden, shocker, him and Eden are goofing around eating coconuts, and Rihanna's like, Caroline and Kitty gave me a fake name. And I'm like, no, babe, that's how you play Survivor, you fucking idiot. Like, what? Like, she's all pissed off that she got lied to on a show about lying.
It's shocking how many people don't know the format. Like, it's like they haven't watched a single episode before. Like,
I think there are a few
on the show
where that's the case. And it's a deliberate casting choice, I think, which makes it fun. I mean, you know, Kelli tonight just walking off into the bush. She's clearly never seen it. So, so she makes a case to Caroline, says Rihanna. She's like, well, I'll vote with you moving forward. And I'm like, oh, okay, so now you understand how this works, and you want to like jump on board this Caroline Kitty kind of Karen alliance, as I'm calling it. Caro asks who she wants out, and she's like, Mark can't be trusted, and you know, we need to get rid of him, which I'm just like, wow, Rihanna, like, I mean, welcome to the game, but also, yeah, I'm not sure Caroline is fully trusting Rihanna, but for now she's like, I'll take the number.
Can I just say, Caroline is scaring the shit out of me. Like,
Scary.
she just like when she's just like, the shots of her just like sitting on a beach, like staring at people or looking at things, I'm like, horror movie. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is
unsettling.
About. They need, and they need to add, like, they did some phenomenal like sound work, I would say, in this like most recent episode for Kelly. I think for Caroline, they need a few more like Halloween-esque like moments
they
for
were
her,
going
because
for an
she's
Emmy in this in tonight's episode. They were like, the sound department was woo.
Oh, at least an actor. Like, let's get them sound for that, please.
Over at New Titans, Kirby's giddy because she feels as though she's in control. Eileen tries to have a chat with Kirby, and Kirby's like, "Nah, don't want to hear it." Just walks past. She's like, "Scotty and I are going to braid our hair in the water, and you're not invited." I was like, "Wow, okay." She's not hiding the fact that she's not interested in Ferris and Eileen at this point.
No, and I think Aileen did too much when they were leaving that last tribal. She was kind of trying to make up for it, going, "Oh, I didn't put your name down." Like,
True.
Just play it
she got
calm
a bit stuck
and
up.
just come forward and go, "This is what I was thinking." Because at the end of the day, you didn't write her name down, so who gives a shit? But just like, don't panic and make it seem like there was something else afoot that you have to be like, "Oh, like I didn't do this to you." Like, just play it cool. Like, don't panic. Like, anyone who panics, you're out. Like, that's it.
Kelly tells Aileen she likes her. And then in a really passag way, she's like, "Well, you know, Aileen, I've never written down your name, but, same can't be said for you because you wrote down my name." Like, she's really like, for a psychologist, she's like not very emotionally intelligent and is actually quite needy. But anyway,
yeah. Also,
great to watch.
I think like unhinged is probably a great word to explain.
That comes to mind.
The behavior.
I like the branding of Hurricane that just Channel 10 have come up with. They're like, "Hurricane Kelli." I was like, oh, perfect. Oh. Imagine you go on a television show.
It's going to be the name of a song. It's going to be the name of a cyclone within weeks. Like,
in cans. Tropical cyclone Kelli. Aileen finally grabs a sec with Kirby after being shunned earlier. And Ferris wants to join in too. And I'm like, "Ferris, bugger off." And Kirby's very steely, and Eileen's like, "Well, maybe I should go idol hunting then, is that correct?" And Kirby's pretty much like, "Yeah, you should, babe.
You should."
And then Ferris and Aileen have a little bit of a squabble in front of Kirby, and I'm like, "Guys, play cool." Like, yeah, it's a bit of a cringe moment for those two because Kirby's so cool, calm, collected.
Yeah, Kirby knows how to play it in front of everyone, which is obviously why Kelly had to go at the end, because when you've got like someone going feral in front of you, you can't go, "Oh, this gal's on my alliance. Isn't she trustworthy?" Like,
she's gone rogue. The immunity challenge is netball, meaning they throw a whole bunch of balls into a net. The new Rebels get the first look at the new Titans tribe without Garrick, and Rihanna's a little bit surprised because she doesn't know what's going on. But then she's like, "Well, that's useful information." I'm like, okay. Alex guesses that the OG Titans are working with Scott and Kirby, which I guess is correct. Aileen and Valeria sit out of this one for the new Titans, and during the challenge, Aileen proposes to Valeria on the bench that she should join her alliance as a number. So I'm like, I don't know who you think you're dealing with here, but the sleeping bear,
I don't know what numbers
doesn't
you
want to
think
hear it. Yeah. The new Rebels catch up with a crazy throw by Jaden. So this was like, Jaden just picks up like 5 balls and just like piffs them from a considerable distance into the net. It was actually quite astonishing.
It was insane. I was in my home, and I usually don't make a sound when I watch anything. Like, it's rare you get like a laugh out of me when I'm watching a comedy, and watching Jaden do 5 balls in a row straight in, I was gasping. Like, I was just like, "This is phenomenal." I was like, "Amazing work." And I was like clapping at the end. I was like, "This is true Survivor comeback." So congrats to Jaden, who doesn't do anything on this show except vote with the majority, laugh,
and eat beans and rice,
just, get balls
and
in.
work out in the gym. Yeah, and he'll occasionally say, "What's the plan?" Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, just very quickly before we move on, Raymond is a little shady bitch, and I know, and I'm so sorry because I know you know Aileen from BFT days, but him saying that she does not have a future after this.
That was pretty shit. But did you see they
in
like
his
did a little post about it? They did a post. It was like, it's all good. We're friends. But
It
what
was
did he
just-
say? He tripped on his words. It was like, I hope she's not a millionaire because what? It was
Well, yeah,
bizarre.
he was just basically saying she had no future after, which was insane. And I have to say this comment about Raymond as well. He strikes me as someone, like, if you're watching like a new Scream movie, he's like one of the potential killers. Like, he's just like, he's just very like
I was gonna go school
shifty,
shooter energy, but sure.
well, yeah, like he like kind of, Jamie Kennedy, like early Scream films, but just that a bit more sinister, that kind of thing, like maybe veering into Scream 4 realm. Anyway, but that's the energy he's given me this whole time, and I can't trust the kid. But I was shocked to hear him come out with like a shady comment like that. That was wild.
It was very strange and out of place, and it makes me realize now why he hasn't had many confessionals, because those poor editors that it's like, we can't use any of this. This is all horrible.
He's scaring them.
Exactly. At New Titans, Valeria wants to do a 3-3 vote on Ferris and Aileen. They're splitting it because, he might have an idol. And Eileen's next on the chopping block, and they all start scrambling. This is where Aileen is awkwardly moved on by Charles and Valeria. They're like, can you just the well is it's occupied. It's kind of giving MJ the iconic MJ moment from the Traitors, where they're like, get out of the room, MJ.
Why is everyone so bad at these shows now shooing people along? Because I've actually noticed this trend in the last few episodes. Like Carolyn, we'll talk about it soon, but does it in the next episode. But when they can't get away from people, no one knows how to do it naturally. Like everyone is so bad at trying to have a conversation about someone when they're like present or like moving along, or change the subject. Like this is something you should be training to come in to Survivor with. Like you should have this skill to be able to like change and like bring up another subject, or like just deflect, but like no one can do it, and it's like horrific to watch, but I kind of love it as well.
We haven't had it yet this season, but I love when someone hides behind a bush and just like listens to the show. Like that's the best strategy ever. Like Luke Toki did it.
Well, sorry,
like Sandra did it.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Well, we kind of get it with Kirby kind of stands behind Kelly as she's like throwing her under the bus during their little lunch later on. So we get like a little taste of it.
Where are we? They decide her vote could be useful. This is Charles and Valeria. So it's like, they just need confirmation that Ferris has an idol. So this is where they come up with the crazy plan. Hair up and the hair down. So Charles pitches to Aileen that if she can prove to them that she's loyal, then they'll work with her moving forward. And she's like, well, if I put my hair up, it means I don't know. And if it's down, it means he's definitely got an idol and he's dangerous, which I thought that was kind of cute.
I thought that was a great tactic. I really like that. And I think they should do more like set pieces or like costume design for like clues. You know what I mean? Like I want to see like like a random leaf in the hair or like a flower or something like that.
The hanky code.
Like someone like throws, or someone like throws sand at the fire during the ceremony or something. Like just very just cryptic things, just to spice it up a little bit.
I want to know what JLP's hanky situation would be. Anyway. Charles and Winner celebrate. Charles and Winner celebrate that the three of them with Valeria have made it through smooth sailing to merge if they join forces with Kirby's alliance. So they're doing that boring thing where they're like, oh, well, now that we've kind of like formed this block, we'll just mosey on through to the merge. Winner tells us that they're thinking of ways of flushing the idol. And also he's got one. He's got the banana idol, which no one knows about. And he's had it for 17 days, which I was like, oh, I actually forgot as well. So that was a good flashback.
I forgot both him and Ferris had an idol. When Ferris kept saying he had an idol, I'm like, oh, he's just lying to people. And I literally could not track when that was acquired. So well done to all of them for hiding it so well. From me exactly as well.
Ferris makes a pitch to Winner, but he's not buying it. He's a lost cause. This is kind of awkward to watch. Like Ferris is just kind of like playing the game as you do it. And when it's got like, I hate when they just shut off and they're like, refuse to even entertain it. He's like, listen to, hear him out. Raymond is loyal. He just wants a majority of people to be happy with him, and he just wants to make merch. He says it would be sad to see Aileen go, but, better her than me. And this is also the awkward comment we've discussed already. Ferris is only considering playing his idol at this point, and I'm like, girl, probably play it, hey? But anyway. Aileen hasn't actually seen it, but she puts her hair down anyway because she wants to play double agent and get them all excited, which I was like, yes, I would have done that too.
Smart.
Now this is where my notes are just as Ferris looks extra sexy when he's sad. Because when Ferris sulks around camp,
he is
it's cute.
He's getting much better looking as the show goes on. I don't know what's happening, but it's all just like, it's working. Yeah.
Puppy dog eyes. He sulks over to Kirby with another pitch, says that no one would ever expect them, rivals, especially after all of the advertising last week, that they would ever work together. So they're going to do it secretly. But Kirby's not that keen, of course, because she's a tough nut to crack. And she tells her alliance that she was propositioned by him, and she said, nah, which I was like, oh, okay. I would have at least kept that to myself in my back pocket. You know what I mean? You might need it later on.
I know. I hope they do work together at some point. Like, obviously, I know this latest episode they did, but that was kind of unanimous. But like, I would like
a sneaky move
I need a
together.
blindside from them on someone else.
Great.
Yes. Yeah.
This is when Charles cites Paul Keating, and this is when I'm like, "Oh, honey, you're out." The kiss of death, mentioning Paul Keating. At Tribal, JLP asks Aileen if Garrick has left a gaping wound in the tribe, and Aileen goes, "Do you know what, JLP? Great question. However, I'm going to take this opportunity to plead to the group once again that we flip back and take out the OG Titans." Got to give it to her for the persistence with this one.
Yeah, congrats.
She's like, we've got the numbers, let's do it. And JLP's like, okay, not what I asked, but cool. Charles is pissed. This is like, Charles is really pissed at her at this point. Him and Winner, like, they were like kind of a bit cunty in this tribal. Like,
yeah, it's so weird because they're all very like certain, even though they're like the minority. Like, they're all just very like, they've come in with a very, I would say, Titan attitude to this new tribe, just being like, oh, we're still like, we're leading this, and we're like on the right alliance. I'm like, well, nothing's for certain here, which, as JLP gives them the little twist as we all love.
But even before that, Valeria as well, they all just start acting crazy. Valeria's like, Ferris here, he shut down Aileen like a dog when she tried to get him to play the idol. And I was like, excuse me? Then Charles gets full lawyer mode and just starts grilling Ferris about if he would ever play the idol for Aileen. He's like, there you go, Your Honour. Case in point, Ferris is a selfish person, wouldn't play his idol for anyone else. And I'm like, you've proved nothing, but very cool.
And we're not even there yet.
Exactly. So basically there's a twist. JLP tells us that tonight things are going to go a little bit differently. And this was the twist that I very much enjoyed because firstly, it involved a little fun carnival game challenge, and it was actually quite twisty. It wasn't just sending someone back to the other camp, which we've had happen twice now. It was an actual game, and the first 3 people to win the challenge earn their right to vote, and they also are immune, which is like a fucking sick prize.
And the right people won.
So Aileen is first to win, my girl. Then Kirby.
Congrats to her. All that BFT training.
We do a lot of hand-eye coordination through, a lot of throwing beanbags.
Blocks and sandbags. Yeah.
Then Kirby and then Ferris, which is just like, the producers are very happy with themselves at this point. JLP asks who they might vote for, and Ferris is like, it's obviously going to be an OG Titan. And then Winner just really cranks it up. And just like, it's like he's purposely trying to piss off. Is this what was happening? Was he trying to purposely piss off Ferris to attract the vote?
Yeah, I think he thought he had played it so right, which was, if I put all the attention on me, both him and Aileen will vote for me. And then if I play my idol, then whoever Kirby votes for will be out. But the annoying part is that Kirby had said to him, it's going to be Charles, like as in she knew. So if he didn't play it too hard, they probably both would have voted for Charles. But I think the fact that he was overdoing it tipped them off. And they were like, okay, we're going to split it just to...
I mean, they probably should have split it in any case, I think. And I reckon they would have split it in any case. But like, she really confirmed it by, whispering. Anyway, I was like, don't fall for it.
They got their way in the end. So
exactly.
Yeah. And also, I was kind of happy to see Charles go, to be honest. I wasn't
it wasn't living for Charles. But it was very tense. So the 3 vote, and the first vote we get is a 3-way tie. And we see Kirby's vote for Raymond. And then it's a Winner and a Charles. Winner plays his idol for himself. He says, I'm going to play for the sushi boy. And then we revote, and it's see you later, Charles. So, and plus they've flushed the banana idol now. So it was a very good night for Aileen and Ferris.
Yeah, well done to them.
Episode 11 has a great title. It's not so wrong, it's so right. Which is very Anne Edmonds.
They should be crediting
Helen.
Exactly. Helen Badou.
Helen Badou should be getting royalties for that. Yeah, exactly. Did somebody say that during the episode and I missed it? I'm assuming Kelli?
I believe I think it was when our dear friend Jaden was making his the hats and the skirt, and I think as he was putting on the grass skirt, someone said it at him. So I think that's where this originated from. But also that person was 100% referencing our dear Helen Badou. So credit where credit's due.
We start at New Rebels, and Alex does a borderline racist impression of Jaden, which took me back to Jonah Takalua. Yeah. It was very like, bro.
He's done it a few times, and I'm like, maybe
it's the first time I clocked that.
Don't do that. I feel like in some of his confessionals, I think he's done like a couple.
Can we not include those again, please?
But I also love that this was Jaden's first, like, kind of, I guess, like, package about himself, and there was still not much to be said. Like, because when they were building him up, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just, like, going with it, blah, blah, blah. And I was waiting for, how they changed the music? He goes, and I was waiting for him to, like, do this full, like, survivor reveal, being like, and that's just what I'm doing right now, but I'm ready to, like, betray all these people.
Yeah. I've actually got a plan. No.
And there was absolutely no twist. It just kind of just went into the credits. I'm like, oh, he's just there for a good time.
Which is great. New Titans.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Day 23. Ray puts Charles' socks in the fire. Okay. Antisocial behaviour there. We're keeping our eye on you, Raymond. Valeria says that last night's tribal was traumatizing. So I was like, wow, it's a big word. And she tells Kirby she doesn't trust Aileen and Ferris. I'm like, yes, we've established this. I got to say, without Viola there, Valeria's losing points for me very quickly. Like them as a little girl duo, I was like, snaps. And now that one V's gone, the other V's starting to seem a little bit psycho.
I know. I do really like Valeria, though. Like, I do agree with you. She's lost a bit of that, zazz since Viola's gone.
I do love when she...
I do. Yeah, especially in the...
When she cuts. It's like, oh...
Yeah, the next
there's a line.
She had a few lines as well.
This is when she says she's a moon from Ferris's charm. She's like, I'm a moon from Ferris's charm. And the music's like... Aileen reminds us Ferris still has an idol. And so she knows they have to win the next challenge because she's on the chopping block. Over at New Rebels, Eden and his tribe mates are playing charades, and he says it's family bonding day. How do you feel about Eden? Our resident pop culture expert.
I'm I am not a
Okay.
fan. I have to say that the whole middle-aged mafia
Yeah.
crew, they can jump. Yeah, I'm not here
And
for
I was
that.
excited for Mark to go out on his
He-
own. And like last week, I was like so here for Mark. And then this week again, I'm like, oh no, you actually kind of suck. Like, sorry, I take it back.
No, yeah, he's shocking, and I should have gone with my gut instinct when I saw him in a blazer on the beach the first episode and gone, you can never be
Yeah.
trusted, and I need to tell myself to trust myself because I was right the
Yeah.
first time, and it's no good. So
he's in a sweet spot, he reckons. He says he's in bed in a survivor way with Carolyn, Kitty, and Jaden. So the Karens and Jaden. Mark is pitching to Caroline and Kitty that they should ditch Rihanna or Alex before merge. And they're leaning towards ditching Alex because Rihanna's probably a bit more useful, because she's got a tab between her legs and everything. Rihanna chats to Caroline and Kitty, and she's not keen on keeping Mark around. She's like, nah, he's just going to go over there and just control the whole narrative about how Viola left. This is like really insane, this, by the way. And how they're like, oh no, he's going to go over there and control the narrative. I'm like, you mean he's going to go over there and tell the truth about it? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, well, to be honest, anytime Carolyn opens her mouth,
She's
I can't.
terrifying.
So this is them.
I feel
just
like I'm being told
making-
off by Mum every time
truly,
she
and
speaks. I'm like,
Kitty also-
ah.
yeah. Oh, anytime she makes a mafia reference as well, I'm like, oh no, let's not do this.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. It just doesn't
just
fit
the
the descriptor,
visual
and
of
I'm
the
just
midwife,
this
like
is-
delivering babies by day and like taking out hits by night is so funny and needs to be explored further in the Madam Web universe.
Actually, yes, a whole new name. I was about to say a whole new movie in the
Mafia
Mafia Mama
Mama.
universe,
Oh
but it was
my
a completely
God.
different plot line. So
How come they haven't-
Mafia Mama. Yeah. One of the best
That
films
should
from
be
last
her
year. I must
nickname.
say.
Like Channel 10 need to start calling Caroline Mafia Mama, Mafia Midwife. That one. You know that one for free.
There we go. Yeah, and get Tony Collette to endorse her. Yes.
Caroline's worried that he might work with Winner and Valeria once they merge. So it's, they're gunning for Mark. We get it. The Immunity Challenge. This is the one with the endurance one, holding on tiny little footholds with a rope, which I love these ones. Well done. Aileen just absolutely fucking killed it.
She knew her life was on the line. That's why she was just like, if I don't win this, I'm out. And rightly so. Well done to her, because that was her. Like, that was a challenge for her own.
I enjoyed watching
everyone.
the Twitter during this episode. It was just like all the gays being like, "Mother," it's like, "Mother, Queen, Queen Aileen." I was like,
the rattle of gay Twitter.
That was great, fabulous. She's
sorry, but like, was Kelly saying when she dropped out, she was essentially just going to vomit? Like, she's like, all the nausea's kicking in. I'm just like, sorry, like, what if you stand there any longer, you're just going to vomit all over the platform or something?
Ooh, sliding down that ramp, disgusting. So she wins it for the new Titans. So the new Rebels are going back to tribal, or are they? Kitty and Caroline tell Mark it's Alex or Ree going, and they're going to split it. But then Voldemort, or Caroline, has other plans. She wants to cut Mark. And Kitty and Ree get the instructions from the Mafia Mama to vote Mark. What puppets? Like, Kitty, like seriously, Kitty's going to get to the final tribal and they're going to be like, Kitty, what did you do? And she's going to be like, well, my hair's braided and I did everything that Caroline told me to. Do you know what I mean? It's like, Kitty girl, get your own game.
I can't stand when there's like a shit alliance that's doing so well. Like, I just don't understand how they're in any control, because it's like, What's the meme at the moment? Like you're two dumb bitches saying
Yes,
exactly to each other. Like
because
that's I feel like Caroline and
exactly.
Kitty are like an old version of that, just going
Oh,
exactly, but like they're
I
wrong.
know.
But
And
somehow we're
how do
getting
they
through
have
every
influence? I don't
goddamn
understand. Like, I
episode.
was screaming at the TV during this episode where everyone's just kind of like, they clearly have no idea what's going on. They flip on the plan like 6 times. And this is before the twist has ever been announced. They've like flipped all over the place. They can't even keep up the lie to Mark about what's going on. And I'm just like, why isn't he? I'm like, sorry, why is anyone listening to this? There's 2 people. They could just all take them out. Like, I don't know. I don't get how they're controlling everyone.
You need a no. You need a Shawnee type
Yes.
in that
Sneaky.
situation to like cut through the bullshit and be like, these women are like useless. They don't know what they're talking about. Can you see this? And just like call out the complete like, I don't know, stupidity of it all. And it's just like you need, because I feel like if they were still in the same tribe as Valeria, Valeria's got a little bit of that, I feel like in her. She would have been like, who's listening to these women? Why are we doing this? And then, but like, it's a shame because that tribe is just filled with dummies at the moment. So it's hard to like,
I often just giggle to myself.
So do
yes,
I.
congrats, Sean.
Congrats on her
I often
baby.
giggle to myself picturing her on that inflatable in the pool going, inflation's a bitch. Just that lives rent free in my mind.
Phenomenal.
Anyway, so everyone's following Carolyn and Kitty for some bizarre reason because all I'm seeing is a bunch of Karens squawking and everyone's just like, yep, cool, we'll do whatever. And Jaden's like happy to be there, but also highly confused, the poor thing. Yeah. At Tribal, Alex walks in and looks at JLP and goes, evening, mate. Gross. And Kitty gives JLP his first bicep compliment of the season, which I say well played, Kitty. That's you do have to do that if you want to win this game.
It's a bit too. It's too far into the season.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's too far into the season for that to be happening. It should have happened in 1 or 2.
They talk about blowing out cobwebs. JLP's like, isn't Tribal a time for you to blow out the cobwebs and bring in new alliances? Meaning, like, can you guys keep it fresh, please? And Jaden is freaking out. Like, he double checks with Mark. He's like, hey, what's the plan again? And then he's like double checks with Kitty. She's like, just do the original plan. And Jaden's like, you mean Mark? And then the whispering starts. So, you know, we love a whisper Tribal.
I have to say the one thing I wish they would not like, I kind of enjoy the scramble, but there's something so strange about this Australian one where they get up and whisper, but they do it so aggressively. Like when, you know, someone like walks up from like the back on the left-hand side and will walk all the way to the right
US,
and get in someone's ear
when
and
you
like
get
tell them like,
they very much
you should not be able to.
It's pretty much at every Tribal in the US one at this point.
Oh,
from pretty much like, I don't know, season 30 onwards, it's just like every Tribal is a whisper Tribal.
Oh, I would rather like a whisper down the line and people get it wrong. You know what I mean? Rather than like anyone being allowed to leave your seat up. Like I think once you're at Tribal, you can't stand till you go to vote.
You know the rules?
Yes, exactly. I would love that.
And then JLP and his beautiful biceps announce another twist that 2 in a row was like,
I can't take 2 in a row.
Gut punch. But also this one was a bit shit. Like last night's was great, but this one was like, oh, okay, so the 2 people with the most votes are going to draw rocks to see who goes on a little trip to the other beach. Like, wasn't sold on this one. They should have done like, because I love the non-elim ones where they just like take them off somewhere and then surprise, they didn't go. Like, I feel like that's kind of better because at least they do the theater of
we get
the theater of them being voted out and then they come back and it's like game on moles. That one I like.
The shock, love. Yeah, that's fun. I find, but again, this is one of the things where at the time I hated it, and then what it produced the following episode, I was grateful it happened because it changed the dynamic with the other team. So I feel like, grateful at the end.
It was fun though.
angry in
Jaden
the
asks,
moment.
"What's the plan?" like 6 times, and then obviously it's Alex and Rihanna who draw the rocks, and this is very gender reveal because there's a pink rock and a blue rock, and Alex gets to go back to see his girlfriend Kelli. And JLP trolls him. He's like, "Oh, you get to go see your favorite person, Alex."
Perfect.
Which was fantastic.
Great.
To Infinity and Beyond is episode 12, which we've just finished watching. Alex rocks up to the New Titans in the middle of the night, and they wake up and they're like, "Oh, hello, what are you doing here?" kind of thing. And Ferris is particularly excited because he, much like myself, enjoys watching the chaos between Kelli and Alex. It honestly should be a show. Like, put them in a house.
Cinema. Yeah.
Do like The Simple Life. Like, send them off to do little like
couple.
jobs together. That would be cute.
Oh, I'd watch the shit out of that. That's great.
Then they do the same gag they did the other week with Kelli, where she's telling a sad story and the music's really sad, but then it starts to troll her and like the music flips around. And so at the start, can you correct me if I'm wrong here, please, Dan? Was she talking about the death of a child at one point? And then it turns out the child wasn't dead?
I see. Yeah, I lost it because like her son was 18 in the end or something like that. Yeah. I got very confused because I also don't think if it was something too dark that Valeria would be like dancing on the beach while they're like putting all the flowers out to ocean.
Strange.
So I got whiplash. I was like, oh, are we talking about a child she was meant to have or had, and then
I was like, is it a dog? Yeah. It was strange, but then they all sing "Happy Birthday" to said child.
It was too much, but
which was lovely, a lovely moment. Kelli isn't keen on getting Raymond out. She goes off when they mention it, and she's definitely got some weird like mummy issues here with Raymond. Which, look, I get that. You're like, he does need to be protected, but maybe not by you.
Yeah, she might also be sensing he probably needs to go to a therapist like herself, to kind of help with whatever he's dealing with, and she's not recognizing he doesn't need a mother, he needs help. So, she might connect the dots once she leaves, but
she'll hit him up for a telehealth session. Kirby's like, play like me and just take your emotions out of the game and just play the game for what it is, which I was like, okay. And Valeria's like, yeah, Kelli, you kind of suck at this. Then they're like, well, Kelli, what's your move? What do you want to do? And she's like, I'm not sharing my private information with you. And they're like, okay, right, we're just trying to play with you. And then Kirby's like, hang on, babe, like I've stuck with you this whole time and I've saved your ass, and now I need you to return the favor, pretty much. And then Kirby's like, look, Kelly's a lovely person, but she sucks at playing Survivor. I'm like, I had noticed.
Yeah, she's like, I like her as a person, as a player.
Nah.
Which true.
Even the bloody reward challenge has a twist. It's not a challenge; it's a choice. Between
Sam, when JLP once again saying this is a little bit different, I was like, I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to get a gun, JLP. If you do this again, we're over here. I can't.
But actually good. So fun. This one I love. There's a seat for everyone at the table if you'd like to sit down and join us for lunch and a key, or you can run off like a crazy person in the jungle to find an idol that's hidden in a very obvious place. What would you have chosen?
Well, I do think it.
I'm doing brunch, like
in the game. I think
in any case.
Yeah, I want to eat because first of all, you're getting probably a lot of needed nutrition, a little bit of a gossip sesh. Like I hope there were mimosas. I don't think there were.
There was coconut drinks. I wasn't sure if they were cocktails or not, but they were in coconuts with a little straw and a little umbrella.
you just take it with the hope they did have a little bit of rum in there or something. But
I would
who
definitely
can
do it
say?
because you only get a chance
But yeah,
once,
I would.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
I think lunch.
Lunch with the girls. You're right.
Also, I think it's actually they need to do that more though before merge. I think that's a really smart thing that they need to keep doing each season, which is like make them, even if they don't have this twist again, pop them down for a lunch just so everyone can get their ducks in a row before like deciding who they're going to vote out just before merge, because I think it actually helps people realize what they want to do next, and they don't really get that much choice at like also like a chance to when they're at like challenges or anything like that. They get like those little moments. So I think this is actually a beautiful, and it's also, you know what, you and I are Real Housewives fans. What dinners produce is fascinating. And as did this.
It was great.
Yes. So it's perfect.
It was like a Housewives
table
dinner with the level of drama that came out of it. It was great. Of course, Aileen, Ferris, and Alex take the scroll for the new Titans, and Rihanna, Mark, and Eden take the scroll for the new Rebels. So they've just outed themselves as vulnerable in their perception.
Yeah.
So they head out for the idol hunt. The others sit down and tuck into the feast. Jaden is stoked and he starts handing out steaks. And then they tuck into like comically large bones.
Jaden with the huge bone. Yeah, the huge bone. I was like, I know exactly what he was doing, which was a really smart thing. He was letting everyone take like the actual meat off the side of it first, like pretending he was serving, just so as soon as he served everyone, he's like, and I'll take the bone and this will be mine. So he was strategic in his food giving, I would say.
Valeria wants the tea from the other side, and so she starts kind of quizzing Caroline with Kirby. And Caroline gets in. It says she's been waiting for this moment to get in first with her side of the story. And this, I was like, wow. When she called Viola's gameplay aggressive, I was like, okay, Karen, because there was nothing aggressive about how Viola played. You blindsided her. Like, whoa. And then they're like, oh, it was really sad.
Yeah, and
it was really sad, but we just had to let her go. I was like, you people are evil.
Oh, 100%. They're just like, they were, and it was the funny thing I found between the two of them, especially, was Caroline only said something bad about Viola and then was just like lying about Mark to Valeria. And then as soon as Valeria went over to Kitty doubled down on the Viola like narrative, but then was like, I'm going to tell you everything else that Caroline didn't tell you. And she just was like, yeah, Mark was pissed off. He tried to blindside Caroline. I was just like, okay, you shouldn't be telling her all of this. But it was actually quite good. So, because they're just so bad at the game.
Well, Valeria doesn't buy it. She's like, no, you cross my girl, you go next. And this is why I'm like, yes, she's back. And look, if Valeria's the one that takes the Karens out, I'm fucking here for it. So let's go.
I want an all-star season with Liz, Valeria, and Shani in the same camp, because I feel like they've all got that very like cold energy where they would just be like,
Rihanna doesn't want Mark to get the idol. This is at the idol hunt. Then the three of them run off. It's like 1, 2, 3, go. And I feel like she finds it in like seconds at the Rebel Beach. Anita and Mark are not thrilled.
Can I just say, this hunt for the idols was no good. Like this was like a kids party treasure hunt
level of difficulty. Where you're like, oh, go and find the thing.
Yeah. It's the Easter egg hunt you do in the front lawn of suburbia for a 3-year-old, and you're like, find the eggs, and they're literally like just like laying on the grass.
We'll get to the next one.
They're in the letterbox. Like it's just like
back at the feast. Kirby's stoked. She's feeling in control of the game, and she's using the feast as a way to like keep tabs on everyone and what they're doing. Meanwhile, Kelly's already spilling the tea to Kitty, making out Kirby to be this like bossy tyrant bitch. I was like, whoa. She's like, if I go, beware of Kirby. She's dangerous. She can't be trusted. I'm like, this is very Traitors. It's like, if I go, she did it. I'm like, okay. Like, how far ahead are you playing?
And then Kirby's standing behind her this entire, which is great. She was just not paying any attention. It was
Kirby goes, Kelly's gone rogue, and I'm like, has she gone rogue? Or like, if you stay rogue, you know, you don't got to get You don't got to go rogue, but anyway.
Oh, very quickly off topic, just talking about going rogue. Did you
Raquel?
see Rachel Levis
Rachel
today?
Savannah Levis.
Yes.
What's she doing
Yeah,
now?
did you see her post, her like rogue post about Sheena Shea today?
Oh yeah, you sent it to me. It was amazing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I just sometimes like fire off things to people, but just like beautiful work from her. Sorry,
All you
it's
do
just
is talk about Tom Sandoval.
I support rogueness.
Oh, I'm loving Raquel going rogue. Anyway, Idol search back at the Titans beach, and this was fucking funny. Like, this was my favorite part of the week. I think Paris is sitting there looking sexy, and he says the word shelter is used 4 times in the clue, so I wonder where it could be. And poor Alex just cannot seem to find
beautiful dumb idiot. Like, just can't see.
Yeah.
I was also very sad for Aileen in this as well, because as much as the editing was focused on Alex, Aileen was suffering from the same head injury that Alex was, not being able to look up into the shelter. Like, it was hard to witness.
Yeah. I feel like she could have been in on
because
it,
it just
and they
seemed
just
so,
didn't
and
bother
then
telling us or something. I don't know.
It was phenomenal though, because Alex actually shook it out, and still Ferris had to hand it to him. Like, it landed in Ferris's lap. He's like, "Here you go."
Yes, I know. But I thought, because my read on that strategy from Ferris and potentially Aileen is that they were stitching Alex up. Like, it's a curse, not a blessing, to have a public idol, because they're all going to gun for him. So they didn't want it.
We'll see.
Is what I thought. But I don't know, prove me wrong. I'll have to ask Aileen. The next immunity challenge is balls in the water game, as I'm calling it. And during said game, Ferris tells Mark that Alex has the idol. So this is his plan. He's like, go for Alex. The rebels win
very easily. Sorry, Jaden holding and Raymond in the water. Beautiful to say.
Yeah. I like the water ones where they like wade around the water. It's like extra dramatic. What exactly? Over at the new Titans beach, Kirby and Scott think it's time to cut Kelli before the merge. Hallelujah. And Ferris's eyeballs are like boing, like fucking hell, finally. So yeah, I feel like this is a bit of a freebie round. This round, isn't it? I think they're all so nervous about making merge. Like, they all really want to be there, and I think it's one of those things for people that have watched the show. It means a lot to them, and I think they clock that Kelly's.
And it's not going to make a difference once she gets there, because if she's a chaotic number that no one can rely on, then she's going to be no use in merge. So good luck to them all.
Exactly. But then some additional strategy comes up about flushing idols. So the mission from Kirby is to plant seeds of paranoia, and it works. Ferris is very paranoid, and we get this great editing where he's like looking around, and everyone's voices are like, play the idol. Like, it's really funny editing. Oh, and then what the fuck was this? Like, Kelli and Raymond looking for the idols. This was very strange.
He was like amusing her for a second, but I think it showed it all when she was asking him to look, and then she walked away, and then he just like sat down on the ground immediately after looking like 2 paces, and then just like sat down, because he was just like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. Yeah. It was very good.
I like that bit. Yeah, I think it was like a last-ditch effort from the producers to get us to think maybe she was going to have one, but not the case. And we finally get to say
she
bye
really
girl
just
to Kelli
everything in that moment. She could have it actually astounded me, because I thought there was this moment that I thought Ferris could have got Alex, Aileen, and Raymond, and Kelli is the swing vote. to maybe like get out of Kirby or someone on that
Take out
side.
Curbs.
And
Yeah.
it just,
I think now they're merged, that'll all
Yeah.
kick off, but I think they just wanted to make it one. I think they wanted a safe one.
yeah, they couldn't risk it. And
Which makes
especially
sense.
with
But
Kelly.
in the shock reveal of the century, Kelly reveals on her way out she's in fact 55 years old and a psychologist.
Both shocking facts.
Is anyone shocked? Absolutely not, because she said she worked in mental health, which is the same thing.
Oh, sorry, Valeria.
And then
Valeria
the
saying
music.
the most strategic move of your game is to go home tonight.
I
good.
I missed the line. So Valeria's line is "you" and strategic game in the same sentence. Really? And I'm like, burn her. So good. It's as crazy as Russia and smile in same sentence.
I like her. And they finally voted together, so congrats to them. Even
I know,
Raymond,
they finally did.
Raymond threw her down, which I love from him.
I love Raymond's votes, like what he writes on the paper. It's always like fucking insane, but gorgeous. What are your hopes and predictions for the rest of the season, Mr. Morrison?
I am excited for Merge, which is next week, according to the promo. So I'm quite excited to see that. I want to see a Ferris Kirby kind of battling it out for a little bit, but ultimately end up working together at some point. I think that would be a beautiful thing to see in the future. I want to see Valeria get far. I feel like I just want to have her like sassy commentary along the way. I want to see Eden and Kitty turn on Caroline, because I want to see the mafia, like the middle-aged mafia, implode on each other and then not have it be Mark. Like I actually want like Kitty to turn on Caroline or something, because I feel like that'd be like so great to see, because there's just something too sinister about Caroline that she needs to go down in like flames to me, because it's just like so unsettling watching her on the show. So I just feel like that needs to happen.
And this is all I need now. It's just like an unceremonious death of Caroline. Like, and Kitty. It's like Kitty really bothers me as well. I just,
absolutely.
They're just too abrasive.
Kirby for the
would you even dare say? Yeah.
Kirby or Ferris, to be honest, at this point. They're both entertaining enough.
Or an Aileen. I'd be happy with an Aileen win. I would like to see her sneak in there. Dan Morrison, thank you very much for joining me this week.
Thank you so much.
Where can our listeners find you?
You can find me at Gasbagging if you like Real Housewives memes on Instagram and TikTok, or me personally at Dan Tom Morrison on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Fabulous. Take care, doll. I'll see you soon.
See ya.
Go follow Dan Morrison over at Gasbagging. I promise you it's hilarious over there. I'll be back next week to recap Survivor once again with a special guest. Until then, bye-bye.